Warning, this video is a chonker. I've put timestamps in the description so that you can watch this in multiple sessions. But I still dare you to watch this in one sitting.
Welcome to the kitchen, where we cook stuff. Okay, so before I say anything, I have the window open because I want to solder stuff afterwards, and it's better to keep the fumes away. Also, why I have this ventilator. And it's okay, so it's been so long I forgot how to use this. So what I did until now was just to get a Raspberry Pi Pico, refresh GP 2040 Community Edition, and read the documentation on how to connect the controller. So I have this controller right here, and if I bridge two connectors, I know you cannot see it because the webcam is not on, but if I bridge two connectors, you see activity. So it works. This was the state of the electrical side, and I did absolutely no progress on this. What I want to do is basically this entire schematic is divided into two parts. The logical side, where buttons are actually sent to the computer as controller buttons and actual inputs, while the second part is responsible for lighting up the buttons. As they say in America, to get the ball rolling, I want to at least make some progress on the first part. So, what is the plan? Solder stuff, also to get back the hand of things. I've bought this kit, which comes with I don't know what is the correct English name for these prototype boards, I guess, but it also comes with headers, both in male and female versions. And I forgot something, give me a sec. I also have cables, bought literally yesterday. The main idea is to put headers, female ones for connecting Raspberry Pi Pico on this, male ones to connect cables, or I could do female for both. I will get to that later. And essentially put 7 connectors plus the headers for the Raspberry Pi Pico in this. Might be a little bit too small, I'll figure it out later, and basically that's it. So, this was the schematic, which has manual pull-up resistors for each button, while the documentation for GB2040 states that buttons are automatically pulled up. Configures the input GPIO pins to be pulled up, expecting the button to short the pin to ground when pressed. Since I don't have enough space for putting resistors, the plan is to just put headers everywhere and then figure out the connections. Afterwards, taking these cables, I'll probably start with this, and connectors for the micro switches, and make cables to connect them all, and then put everything on the prototype board that I showed on the last video, which is still there. Okay. Halfway there. I should probably redo this one. This looks a bit off now. Okay. I don't know how well it will focus on this. I'll take a photo. It looks like a standard prototype board. So far, so good, actually. I've just put headers on stuff, but... okay, let's continue. Progress report. All the headers are soldered. Yippee. There are a couple ones which kinda worry me, but whatever. Okay, this is the worst cable I've ever done, but it's a cable. Now, one way to test it before I put the female connectors. Do I turn this off? Yeah, I'll turn it off. Dove cazzo è volato? Trovato. Okay. Now I'll decide that the orientation will be like this. So let me check the pinout. Yeah, okay. So if the USB is like this, this is pin 1. Okay. Okay, ground has been connected. Now I need to put the first button, which is immediately after. So if this was pin 8, first button is on pin 9. Okay, maybe I should trim a little bit of the excess cable. And there it is. The simplest fucking circuit you can imagine. And there's the moment of truth. Let's connect it. I don't smell any weird. Okay, no, it was the iron, which is not cleaned up well enough. Yeah. Okay. Still no smoke. I'm making a bigger deal out of this, but I'm actually scared. 3, 2, 1. Okay, it works. And now I can just unplug this. No! No! No, it slipped out. Poteva andare tutto? No! Ovviamente no! The fact that cable broke before the board is reassuring. Okay, now should be connected. I put a ton of... Now I just have to do this 10 more times. But it works. It works. And I should probably print a better top with actual sides so it can stand on itself rather than the cables. Okay, now we have 7 connectors. Ok, ok. 2 ore e 10. Explanation of what I've done so far. Put a single cable. Photo. Essentially, since every button has to connect between the GPIO pin and ground, I have already ground on the first button, so I've just routed the same potential to every other button so that I can save some extra cables on top. Okay, so ground should be done. There we go. There's an easy way to check if it actually is wired correctly. Tester time! La luce! As I was saying, tester time. Okay. Okay, I can just touch the different points, so this is ground from the Raspberry Pi. Okay.
This is the important point. Ground from Raspberry Pi.
This should be
okay. I need to redo this connection. This one as well. Okay, there's a couple of connections that I have to redo. Much better. Much better.
okay. So, good news. There were a couple of joints that were not soldered correctly, but every connection down here works. Yippee!
And it's actually coming along nicely.
Now, can I use these cables for connecting? Don't tell me that I have to get other cables for the... Okay, I'll stop for today. I did. And I immediately... Okay, here. Progress is progress. I cannot deny that. I am missing some more cables to do this prototype board because the ones I have are too thick and also stranded and not full core. I don't know how to. Anyway. Okay. The goal of today: finish connecting up all the connectors here, and then make enough cables so I can actually connect everything here. I went yesterday to buy even more cables, but for a specific reason, because like these two are have a diameter of 1.5 millimeters. This is two cables at 0.75 millimeters. This is two cables at 0.5, and these are small enough to fit in the holes in the prototype board. The other ones, these ones, are too big. I think I finished last video saying that. Yeah. Also bought heat shrink tubing and electrical tape. Now all that's left is to start. So I was thinking of, you see how these cables are going back this way? So main buttons would go, so you see counterclockwise, and the extra buttons here would go clockwise. Do I test it all at the end and get in the flow, or yeah. Dai che ce la fai, dai che gliela fai. Proceda a non farcela. Dai, ma che cazzo. I'm sorry to all the English speaking viewers because I'm talking too much in Italian, but I have trouble inserting a fucking. Oh no! Dai. Non ci arriva, Dio! Calma. Raddrizziamo tutto. I wonder how electricians can do this in 5 seconds. This is hell. I know I'm a software engineer, but this is pure hell. Dai, cazzo. Non è possibile che ci sto mettendo un'ora per inserire un fottuto cavo dentro un foro. Dai! I'm just ruining the cable. Fuck it, I'll get another cable. I've ruined this one. It will not stay. Okay, no. Okay. Putting solder before is a bad idea. Noted. That is a wasted cable. Respira. Let's forget half of the strands even exist at this point. Did you know that if you remove half of the strands, it goes in easier? Okay. Good. No, che poi I know I'll have to redo all of these connections again, but chi l'avrebbe detto che scotta? We have 3 buttons. Now, I've just realized something which will become a problem in the future because I have to change the configuration. But I think I will have to change the configuration anyway, so it's not a big problem. But I thought I soldered to button 3 when it is not button 3. It's actually R2. Okay, let's keep going. Why are these? Vabbè. Allora, un calmo. Oh, dai, un po' più. Okay, so no, definitely not finished. Ok, and we're at 4. Non ci credo, è entrato subito. Non ci credo, è entrato subito. 5 seconds, not even 5 seconds, and it went in. I have an awful English pronunciation. I should probably get better on that, which is kinda why I'm making this video, because I force myself to talk in English and to improve that. Why? Now, where do I route the cable? Outside or inside? Outside. I cannot believe it. Why did this go through in such a short time? Am I getting good? Okay, that's it. That is definitely a connection. Okay, so I hope I did not breach anything critical, but when halfway there, no, halfway there of the no, it's not even Let's move on. Just as I thought, the more cables I add in here, the harder it becomes to route stuff. I sure hope nothing is shorted between the pins. Last cable for the main buttons. I was counting how many connections I've done, and right now there are 7 because 6 buttons are connected plus ground. And for a second I fooled myself thinking, am I actually done? Or no. No, I need to put the final button. Sì, però se ci metti la mano puttana ditelo, però... Sorry. I should talk in English, not in Italian. Was it smarter to buy a bundle of ribbon cables like the ones you use for Arduino, solder everything and then split? Probably. Did I realize too late now that I'm doing the 7th button? Also true. Come on, bridge. There we go. I'm looking at the pinout, thinking where I should wire cables. Since GB2040 uses start and select, which should be S1 and S2, I should wire them directly to some switches there. And I have reached the point where if I keep going counterclockwise, cables won't fit anymore, so Dio mio, questo è per davvero spaghetti. Okay, so start is the last pin on the other side. I'm starting to notice that accidentally I've put the cables color coded where the top ones are red and the bottom ones are black. Just because because I don't want to waste any cable. Okay, so this is going to be select, and for that reason, almost. Am I getting better with my soldering job, or is it luck? This is a fucking mess. Like, this is a fucking mess, but we'll see. We'll see if it works later. But only 2 buttons remain, and I think this is definitely not long enough to reach. Okay, so looking at the pinout, skip a pin and then connect the other one. So 1, 2, skip a pin, skip a pin. I actually hate this. I actually hate this so much. There has to be a way. There has to be a better way to do this. There has to be a better way to do this. Okay, last cable. Whew. Can you believe it, guys? The last cable. Only an hour away. No, decisamente no. Did I strip? No, no, I did not strip the other side. Okay. Everything should be cabled. Connected. Look at this beauty. Come on, come on. Look at this beauty. The backside is not even that bad, honestly. Let me take some photos. There's only one thing to do now. Turn off the soldering iron, hoping that everything has been cabled correctly. Plug in the Raspberry Pi and see if there is enough clearance. Now that cables are under it's actually... Look at that, and you don't even notice. Fuck, I shorted the pin. Yeah, you can see I'm doing nothing and pin number 3 is shorted. Where exactly? No, wait, pin 4 is shorted. I mean, if it's shorted, having another connection to ground shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Sanity check. Button number 1. I don't know why the video capture is so slow, but it works. Button number 2. Work. Is this one? Okay, this works, but it's short. Is it normal? I don't think it's normal. This one is the shorter one. Is okay, so is there anything? Let's keep going. Okay, this straight up doesn't work. Lovely. Okay. Okay. Now start. Okay, select does not work. This does. Okay, so out of 11 buttons, 3 or 4 of them are to be checked. The weird thing is button number 3 and number 5 do the same thing, but they should not be shorted. This is why I should have checked every single connection before doing them all at the same time. Allora. One. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Select. Start. The other way around. Okay, yeah. Extra 1 and extra 2. Dio mio. An entire afternoon just to finish cabling this goddamn board.
Day 3 was me doing all the other cables that actually connect the buttons to the board, which was not interesting, so I don't have any footage of that. Which leads us to today. Welcome back. This is the current state of the project. Don't mind the cables unplugging because of Of course they do. Yes, it's spaghetti, I know, but it works. It absolutely works. I will upload a separate video of me playing with BMS using this, so you can actually see how it works in game. Also, I managed to get actual home run switches for these, so they are extremely light. Maybe too much, because they bottom out and they keep the button pressed even when you release like this. The switch itself does not have enough strength to bottom up, I guess it's the term, to reset itself. So what ends up happening is you press for tap note and it actually holds the note in place, so you cannot easily do jacks with this because it likes to stay pressed way too much, because I need to get strings. But other than that, it definitely works. I guess next order of business is to figure out the scratch. Both how do I even wire it on this and making the actual physical plastic case for it. I guess see ya next time. Hopefully in the next month and not in the next year. Also, while you're still here, can you please press the button? It should be like right here. Yes, I'm asking for the sub. Yeah, can you do that, please? Thanks.